Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Live Your Life Sis. And we're your hosts again. I'm Temi and this is
I'm Lola.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about colorism, different shades of your melanin, all that good stuff. So, just I guess I should talk about what colorism is to me. So, colorism to me has always been like some type of discrimination towards the color of my skin, or honestly, to most Black people, it's always been like you're too dark or you're not light enough. But what is colorism to you, Lola?
I would say I agree with you. I think colorism is the discrimination of people within the same race based on, skin complexion. And even better, I found this, while doing my research, I found this really, I think, perfect definition by a PhD researcher at the UK's University of Manchester. His name is Edward Ademolu. And he defines colorism as an intra-racial complexion-based hierarchy that often affords societal, cultural, economic privileges and favoritism towards lighter-skinned people and discrimination against those with darker complexions.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot to unpack.
I know. I know. So it's not only talking about, colorism is just me saying, oh, I'm more beautiful than you because, I'm light skin or dark skin.
Right.
It's saying that there are also some other consequences, economic, economic consequences, cultural consequences, and things like that. I feel like we don't usually, when we talk about it, it's always like, the guy just said, I'm less beautiful because, but even when in terms of it gets jobs and things like that, it's just even a big deal.
Interesting.
And because I did lots of research, I told you I came packed with facts. So
she came through for you guys.
Right. And I even found that this is another research by a doctoral student at the University of Georgia. His name is Matthew Harrison. He found that a light-skinned Black male can have only a bachelor's degree and typical work experience and still be preferred over a dark-skinned Black male with an MBA and past managerial position, simply because expectations of the light-skinned Black male are much higher and he doesn't appear as menacing, and menacing is like threatening, as the dark-skinned male applicants.
Interesting.
Girl, there's more. According to World Health Organization, 77% of women in Nigeria use skin lightening products, the world highest percentage. There's more.
There is
This
more.
is the last one, y'all. This is the last one. I came ready because this thing blew my mind.
It's blowing me, honestly.
Girl. And according to global industry analysts, the global market for skin lighteners will reach 31.2 billion by 2024, with huge markets in Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Additionally, bleaching products are the fourth most sought after household item by African women, after staples like soap, milk, and tea, according to a report by the University of Washington.
So it's an essential product, just like that.
It is.
I think it's crazy, but I'm surprised. I'm also not surprised. Like when we grew up, like I didn't, and I'm sure honestly you can relate to this too, but I didn't necessarily, colorism wasn't talked about like that. I just know that they'll tell us to, I think in nursery school or, what they call middle school here, or is it elementary? Anytime you had to read or talk about yourself, you wake up, you get up, you're like, okay, my name is this, my name is that.
Right.
I'm 6 years old. I'm light or dark in complexion. And I'm just like now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what was the need? Why was that important? Are we not all Black?
I am dark in complexion.
I'm dark in complexion. And me, I was just thinking, and honestly, And honestly, I'm going to jump into that story later on where I actually thought I was light skinned my whole life, you know. I thought I was like this bright ass coin. But then it took time, you know, but then it was just like, you know, we're all beautiful in all shades, you know.
Exactly. When you saw other light skin, you're like, so I'm not this light.
So I'm not this
Okay.
light.
So where am
And, you
I? What am I? I'm not this dark. Okay, well you're ebony. You're not
you're
chocolate
ebony, you're
though.
not chocolate, or you're caramel, and
But you're
it's just
caramel.
like it's
Where am I? Or why does it matter?
I'm telling you, I just don't understand. But I think like now in society, it's more prevalent. It's talked about more, you
Yes.
know, just with the fact that this new movie that came out, Skin. I think it was created by this amazing actress, beautiful
She
Nigerian
is
actress
beautiful.
and producer, Beverly Naya. She created this amazing documentary called Skin that really talked on, you know, different parts of society, why women bleached. And I think a lot of it was just centered towards wanting to keep a man or wanted to get a man
Yes.
or wanted to feel
Yes.
accepted by society, you know, on how
Yes.
a lot of women, it was almost like the only means by which they could earn a living if they were lighter skinned. And you know, just to
Yeah.
talk about what, you know, the facts that you mentioned in terms of how they would choose a lighter skinned man compared to a dark man who had more
Good job.
qualifications. And I think it's just so heartbreaking and it's crazy to just see how prevalent in society this has been for years, but it's just being talked about now, you know.
Even Bobrisky, you know Bobrisky, he's like a
Yeah.
celebrity, social media celebrity, and he talked about how he used to be dark skinned and he started using bleaching cream because he knew that was the way he was going to get attention. If he wanted to make it, that was the way. And not only that, now he's even selling it, and even he uses this himself, and he talks about how it's not easy, and if he talked about it's not easy and how it's stressful to, keep
You
applying the
know,
cream every single day.
honestly. And I
And
think it's just, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think
go
it's
on,
just
sis.
the crazy how devastating the impact of colonization has been. Like it's so devastating that you can still feel it now in 2020,
Sis,
where
we need to have a whole part two
all
of
parts
this
on this because
colorism and talk
it's
about
just
how it's not just in African countries,
mm-hmm.
it's not just in the
in
US, it's
in
not
in
just
the
in UK,
US,
it
but
is everywhere.
everywhere, honestly,
Everywhere.
it's
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. I think it's just crazy because um it really is mind blowing. And honestly, I'm going to take you guys down this amazing, interesting memory lane. So when I was talking about how in school they used to tell us to get up, you know, and talk about ourselves, and I would always say, "Oh, I'm fair in complexion." So I always thought, you know, I was super light skinned, and I guess because I was born light skinned. But then, you know, the sun in Nigeria doesn't mess with anyone. So apparently it darkened me, right? And I always thought, you know, I was light skinned, you know, and I guess I was in my own, you know, naive and really dysfunctional way as well. I also thought that that was beauty, you know, that if I was
Mm-hmm.
darker, that was beauty because that's the environment I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was, and I thought if I was darker, that wasn't beauty. I meant to
Mm-hmm.
say, but then the
Right.
thing is, I thought I was lighter up till I got into college. And then I remember going to buy foundation with one of my friends at the time, and then it was like I was trying to figure out what was my color. And she was actually lighter than me, but I thought we're the same complexion. You would think like I have eye problem or something. But then but why we're the same color now? So we should be using this. And she looked at me, she was like, no, we're not. You're way darker than me. And I'm not gonna lie, that affected my ego a bit because I was like,
Mm,
what do you mean I'm way darker than you? Like, and
mm.
somehow it was almost like I had attached beauty to how light skinned I was. And I
Team
felt like
light
if I was,
skin.
you know, and I felt like if I was darker, somehow there was something wrong with me. But I had to
Right.
catch myself and be like, honey, no, that you should be proud of if you're darker or if you're lighter. The skin that what you have, what God has given you, this beautiful melanin, is still drop dead gorgeous. Like, and
Period.
nobody can take that away from you, you know.
Period. Sis.
Period.
Talking about stories. Where do I even start? Oh Lord. Okay, I won't sing. But where do I even start? So First though, I'll say, okay, my encounter with colorism, I mean, I've had different encounters throughout my life. But one time when it really, really dawned on me that being dark, was almost unacceptable in the society was when during one time, I lived in, my grandma, my uncles, and my aunts and family friends and everything. One of my family friends was like my uncle. Growing up, they used to tell me, I like to do shakara. And shakara pretty much means like, you try to act like a babe when you're young,
You act like a bad bitch. Because you are. You are that
around,
that
things
bitch.
like that. So they used to tell me, oh my God, okay, we'll not do this here, but I am. But anyways, but people used to tell me you should do shakara and everything. But this man specifically said, he said, if you're a lighter skin, if you're a light skin girl, your shakara will be too much. It would have been worse than this.
Hey.
And since then, I was just confused as to like, what does me being light skinned have to do with me being more,
more confident,
feeling myself
more in love with
confident.
yourself, hyping yourself up.
Exactly. And since then, I kept over the years, I kept thinking about it. And it dawned on me that to him, if I was light skinned, I would have been more, I don't say attractive, but more beautiful, almost, that kind of thing.
No, that's what he meant, honestly.
Right. That's literally what he meant. Literally what he meant. And, and this might sound weird, but, I'm the only dark skinned person in my family, like in my immediate family. My sisters are all light skinned. My dad is light skinned. My mom was actually dark skinned. And, people would look at me and my younger sister, Sophie. Probably shouldn't have said her name. I don't know. But people would look at her and me and be like, you guys look exactly alike. You guys are like twins. You guys look exactly alike. But then she's more beautiful though. And I'm like, okay, so what exactly is more different? If you literally just said
you look
exactly alike.
But she's more beautiful because she's light skinned.
Exactly. And then they point out, oh, you're dark skinned, she's light skinned. Do you have a different mom? Or
oh my God.
And you're just like making this so obvious that you just prefer
light skinned.
Exactly. Because she's light skinned. And those days it was pretty much, it was just, I knew, I had at the back of my head that it was something, and it was a big deal.
And honestly, you can imagine, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but you can imagine like the damage or the hit that would have to your ego, to your self-esteem, and growing up with that just since you were little, like
young. But the good part is coming though. The good part is coming, because I really did not let it get to me, and I'm getting to that. But the worst one was when I moved to the US, and there was this time where these guys, I had locks, I was growing my locks, and everything. And then I was working, at a restaurant, and I had to make that money. But these guys, were all joking and everything, and he was talking about my locks. And I think I was talking about how, my locks are beautiful. I think I'm beautiful, just feeling myself. We're just talking about it. We're all joking around and things like that. And he was like, oh, so you think you're beautiful even though you're as dark as this? And he pointed to like a trash can that was like really, like a black trash can.
What? Why am I just hearing about this?
I haven't told you, girl. This was years ago. Literally pointed to, he was like, even though you're as dark as this, and pointed to the trash can that was like really dark, really black and things like that. And I was just like, but you're dark skinned though. Like, what is your problem?
That's what I don't understand. You see,
I feel like you're about to fight. I feel like you're about to fight.
I'm about to fight that human being in the past, because that's the thing too. Like, how women, I know we're trying to turn this into a woman and man thing, but then it's almost like, there's always this preference for light-skinned and dark-skinned men, but it's almost like we're just now jumping on the bandwagon for appreciate dark-skinned women, and I'm
melanin
popping.
That hasn't been this
support
whole time.
and love our black queens. That hasn't been like that this whole
time. Exactly. And there was even one time. I
can't believe you said that.
I feel like I'm saying too much, but I have so many stories, sis. There was one time one of my friends, one of the guys that were there, I saw this lady. She came to drive through. She was so pretty. She was dark skinned. She was pretty. She had like really short hair. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I called the guy and I was like, "Oh my god, you need to come see this lady in drive through. She's so beautiful." I'm very sure he was expecting like maybe some light skinned baddie. I don't know what he was expecting, but he saw there. He got there, looked at her, and turned around and was like, "Oh my god, she's burnt." Temi,
What?
Temi, I'm not even lying. I can't even make this up. He's just like, "Oh God, she's so burnt." I could not believe
Wow.
it. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. That's when I knew this is a big, big, big
That's
issue.
crazy. That is so crazy.
Big, big, big
How do you
issue.
describe a human being as burnt?
Did you
Please, with your
say
own mouth.
she is burnt? But with all these experiences, it's just like you can't like dark skinned women. We hear so many comments, we hear so many jokes, and all these things, and it's just like, okay, maybe I'm not enough, and then it takes you have to work on your self esteem because it does affect that. But I'll say
Sure.
one of the reasons, I won't say it didn't affect me, it probably affected me to an extent, but one of the ways I've been able to really, really overcome it is because of the way I grew up. Growing up, one of my aunt's husband, my uncle, he would always call me Black and Shine every single time when I was young. So every time since then, you call me Black and Shine. I had it in my head that I'm shining, that I'm beautiful. Sis, you see me all the time hyping myself up.
Uh,
I was
you
called Black and
guys,
Shine from a
this is just
young
the first
age.
episode, okay? So this is just a pre-warning for everyone
Pre-warning.
listening. Because
This is
the
pre-warning.
hype
You
is
have
high.
to hype yourself up. We have to
Yes.
hype other women up from a young
Mm-hmm.
age. When we're talking about what can we do to really, really address colorism from a young age, we need to
Mm-hmm.
create an environment where dark-skinned girls, little girls, can grow and see themselves
Mm-hmm.
as beautiful
Oh
as their
yes.
light-skinned sisters,
Honestly.
because you're not anything, you're not less because you have, I don't know, darker, like it really doesn't make any
It
sense.
really
We have
doesn't
we
matter.
have to talk about these things. And it might look like, oh, why is everyone always talking about melanin popping and dark skin this? It's because from
Because
a young age we were not able to talk about it.
I'm
From
telling
it
you.
took us a long time to
Mm-hmm.
get to where we are, to even talk about the issue of colorism. It took us a
Mm-hmm.
long time. So when
Took
we're
a long
hyping
time.
ourselves up, when we're doing all the hashtags, when we're when Beyonce is singing brown skin girl, it's been a long time. So
It's been a long
yes,
time coming.
we will shout it, we will sing it, we will talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
we'll praise ourselves.
Oh yeah. And
Because
I'm
this
not
is a
even
big
gonna
issue.
and I'm not even gonna lie because when I saw the video for black
Brown skin girl.
brown skin girl, it was I actually cried. I actually cried.
Oh.
I actually got so emotional when I saw that video the first time. And and I think one thing I just want to address as well, or say to any woman or man
Mm-hmm.
that's listening to
Yeah.
this who's feeling insecure about the color of their skin, or who feels
Mm-hmm.
like that somehow weighs in on how beautiful or how handsome or awesome they are. That's a huge lie. That
Right.
is a huge lie.
Right.
And not only should anyone sell that lie to you, you should not sell that lie to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because the main person we have to deal with is ourselves, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because we're in our own heads, in our own thoughts, and we're hearing all these things about, oh, if I was lighter skin, maybe. But I need you to speak back to those voices in your head.
Mm-hmm. You're
Yes,
as
speak back.
beautiful.
You are as beautiful. You
Yep.
are awesome with the color of your skin. You matter. Your purpose matters,
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if there's anything you need to do, because we didn't get here in one day,
We
it
did not.
took us hyping ourselves up. It took us, talking to each other. It took us,
Mm-hmm.
it took me
Listening to
telling
songs
Lola,
like Brown Skin
listening to
Girl.
songs, seeing, even which brings me to our celebrities, it took us seeing people on screen that look like us, and I know everyone's always, because Lupita is awesome. It took us seeing Lupita on screen. It took
Right.
us seeing Danai Gurira on screen. It took
Yes.
us seeing the CNN correspondent Aisha Sese on screen. It
Right.
took us seeing all these beautiful women on screen
Right.
that looked like
Right.
us, and we could see that their voice mattered and that they mattered too. So do what you gotta do, because
Yeah.
I want you to know you're beautiful. I want you to know that you're handsome. I want you to know that you're hot, that you're
Yes.
sizzling.
You're the bad
Okay?
bee.
You're black and shiny,
You're
period.
black inside. That's it. Black
Mm-hmm.
inside. You guys should take it from my uncle. You're black and you're shining in every shade. And I feel
Every
like
shade.
going back to what you said, Timmy, about how like you thought you were light skin and then someone called you dark skin and then you started thinking, are you dark skin? Like it makes me wonder if there are actually people out there who are also kind of trying to put themselves on the spectrum of, okay, am I dark, am I
Dark,
light,
am I
am I
brown?
this,
Am
am I
I,
that? Exactly. And to me it's just like it's wherever you see yourself. You can call yourself caramel, you can call yourself ebony, you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but just know, regardless of if you're as light as I don't know or as dark as I don't know, you're still beautiful and you're okay and you're
And
still
your black is beautiful.
and your black is beautiful, your black is perfect, your black is shining, your black is glorious, your black
You're not
is
burnt.
you're
Don't let
not
any human
burnt.
being come and tell you you're burnt. That
Burnt,
is,
can you
that comment
imagine?
is blowing me. I can't believe someone said that.
You know,
Wow.
I feel like another episode we will need to address how the things that we do that contributes to this colorism, the jokes, your mama is so black, da 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 da.
Or
We are
even
not
even
ready
saying
for
that,
this
oh, I just don't
conversation.
think we're not ready for the conversation, because to be honest, our minds, we grew up with this. So there's a lot of things we need to unlearn. There's a lot of things I've had to unlearn,
Right. Right.
the thought of, Jesus being black before, people were like, how can Jesus be black? But excuse me. Anyway, we're not even about to
Right.
get into that.
We're not.
But there's a lot of things we have to unlearn. To be
Yeah,
honest, it's a lot
absolutely.
we have to unlearn. There's so
Absolutely.
many things that I grew up with that, black is tainted with evil. Black is tainted with
Mm-hmm.
dirty,
Dirty.
tainted with
Yes.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things,
Ugly. Not
ugly,
smart. Oh.
not smart. There's a lot of things you have to unlearn. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
it takes everyone being intentional about wanting
Yes.
to unlearn those things that they grew up with and relearn. This is what this podcast is about:
Yeah,
unlearning and relearning.
absolutely. And I'm just going to add that it looks like we're definitely going to have a part two of this.
Oh yeah,
Because I
definitely.
feel like this is going to be so interesting. So you guys should stay tuned because we are definitely going to talk more about this. And please
Yeah.
drop your comments. What do you have? What are your experiences with colorism? What are the ways you think we can, contribute to battling, this systemic
This plague.
right. That's a good way to put it. So please drop your comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, let us know how you feel about this. Do you enjoy this? Do
You
you
know,
think what we said is wrong, or do you
want to hear
agree?
your opinions. We would love
Right,
to
right.
definitely hear all that. So
Mm-hmm.
just continue to tune in, to subscribe, let's
Mm-hmm.
continue to change the narrative, and
And
please,
join the conversation.
yes, yes, please. Yes, please. So till next time, bye.